What's Mother gonna say? Maybe we ought to tell her before she sees it.
She saw it.
How did she see it? I was the first one up. She was still asleep.
She was out here when it broke.
When?
About 4 o'clock this morning. She came out here. I looked out, I saw her, and she was standing right about here.
What was she doing out at 4 in the morning?
I don't know, but when it crashed, she ran back into the house and cried in the kitchen.
You talked to her?
No. I figured the best thing was to leave her alone.
She cried hard.
I could hear her right through the floor of my room.
What's she doing out at that hour? She's dreaming about him again. She's walking around at night.
I guess she is.
She's getting just like after he died. What's the meaning of that?
I don't know the meaning of it, but I know one thing, Dad. We made a terrible mistake with Mother.
What?
Being dishonest with her. That kind of thing always pays off, and now it's paying off.
What do you mean dishonest?
You know Larry's not coming back, and I know it. Why do we allow her to continue believing that we believe with her?
What do you want to do, argue with her?
I don't want to argue with her, but it's time she realized that nobody believes Larry's coming home anymore. Why shouldn't she dream of him? Walk the night waiting for him? Do we contradict her? Do we say straight out that we have no hope anymore? That we haven't had any hope for years now?
You can't say that to her.
We've got to say it to
How
her.
can you prove it? Can you prove it?
For 3 years, for God's sake. Nobody comes back after 3 years.
What? It's insane. To you it is, to me, but not to her. Now you can talk yourself blue in the face, but there's no body, there's no grave, so where are you?
Sit down, Dad. I want to talk to you.
Trouble is the goddamn newspapers. Every month some boy shows up from nowhere, and the next one's gonna be Larry.
All right. Listen to me, Dad. You know why I asked Annie here, don't you?
Why?
You know.
Well, I got an idea. What's the story?
I'm going to ask her to marry me.
Well, that's only your business, Chris.
Well, you know it's not only my business.
What do you want me to do? You're old enough to know your own mind.
It's all right, then. I'll go ahead with it.
Well, as long as you're sure that Mother isn't
And
going
it's not just my business.
I'm just saying.
Sometimes you infuriate me, you know that? Isn't it your business, too, if I tell this to Mother and she throws a fit about it? You have such a talent for ignoring things.
I ignore what I gotta ignore. The girl is Larry's girl.
She's not Larry's girl.
From Mother's point of view, he is not dead, and you got no right to take his girl. Now, you can go from there if you know where to go, but I don't know where to go. See, I don't know. So how can I help you?
I don't know why it is, but every time I reach out for something I want, I have to pull back or somebody else will suffer. My whole bloody life, time after time after time.
You're a considerate fella. There's no harm in that.
To hell with that.
Did you ask Annie yet?
I wanted to get this sorted out first.
Well, what if she doesn't want to marry you? What if she feels like Mother does?
Oh, well, if she does, that's the end of it. From her letters, I think she's forgotten. I'll find out, and then we'll thrash this out with Mother, right? Dad, don't avoid me.
Your problem is you don't see enough women. You never did.
So what? I'm not fast.
And I don't understand why it has to be Annie.
Because it is.
Oh, well, that's a good answer. But it don't answer nothing. You haven't seen her since you went to the war. It's 5 years.
I can't help it. I know her best. I was raised next door to her. These years, when I think of somebody for my wife, I think of Annie. What do you want, a diagram?
I don't want a diagram. She thinks he's coming back. You marry that girl and you're pronouncing him dead. Now, what's going to happen to Mother? You know, I don't.
All right then, Dad.
Give it some more thought.
I've given it 3 years of thought. I hoped if I waited, Mother would forget Larry and we could have a regular wedding and everything happy. But if that can't happen here, I'll have to get out.
What the hell is this?
I'll get out. I'll get married and live someplace else. Maybe in New York.
Are you crazy?
I've been a good son for too long. A good sucker. I'm through with it.
You got a business here. What is
The
this?
business. The business doesn't inspire me.
Must you be inspired?
Yes. I like it an hour a day. If I'm going to grub for money all day long, at least at evening I want it beautiful. I want a family. I want some kids. I want to build something I can give myself to. Annie's in the middle of that. Now, where do I find it?
You mean, tell me something. You mean you'd give up the business?
Yes, on this I would.
Oh, well, you can't think like that.
Then help me stay here.
All right, but don't think like that, because what did I work for? For you, Chris. The whole shooting match is for
I
you.
know that, Dad. Just, you help me stay here.
But don't think that way. You hear me?
I am thinking that way.
I don't understand you, do I?
No, you don't. I'm a pretty tough guy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Joe, did you take a bag from under the sink?
Well, Mom.
Yeah, I put it in the pail.
Well, get it out of the pail. That's my potato.
I thought it was garbage.